What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update and daily news report for Thursday, May 27th. First, the White House says that they would consider another stimulus check if Congress first proposes it, which has a lot of people speculating that that is leaving the door open for more stimulus checks. We also know that Senator Joe Manchin says he is in no rush to get an infrastructure bill done with Republicans at this time because he says major legislation does take time. We know as of this morning, the new jobless claims came out today, signaling an improved economy, which is always great. President Biden plans tomorrow to propose, according to the New York Times, he is going to propose a $6 trillion government spending bill for fiscal year 2022. This is actually pretty big. This is a substantial jump, and this has a lot of people questioning what the motives and intent are behind this, and we'll get to that in a minute. We know that many in the GOP are worried that former President Donald Trump will rerun for president again in 2024, which would cause a huge divide in the party. And we know the expanded child tax credits are estimated to help out roughly 65.6 million children. And so a lot of people are saying that right now additional relief is coming, but is it coming to everybody or is it just going to the parents and the children? Well, we have answers on that as well. So again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you could, go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily uploads, and also consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that is going on. So let's get into the update. The White House has stated that they would consider another stimulus check if Congress first proposes it. Well, the IRS is simply just waiting. The IRS, as of right now, issued another round of stimulus checks, which mean they have sent out roughly $391 billion in total. We are coming up to that $400 billion mark. Many lawmakers state that another stimulus check is needed, but question if the infrastructure package is the best place for it at this time. Some say it doesn't matter whether it goes into the infrastructure package, the social infrastructure package, or it gets a standalone bill. Right now they say it is needed and we must pass it as any way possible. So right now what I can tell you is the majority of reports are indicating that if we see an additional stimulus check, it would not happen over the summer, that Congress and most importantly Democrats, being that they have the power, they are just going to wait until this fall to potentially address other issues as well, which could come up like the issues with unemployment. We could see issues with the economy, depending on how the vaccines go, and if we reach that herd immunity over the summer. So we'll see more, and we'll have more information there, but that will be coming up over the next couple of months. So what I can tell you is I do believe an additional stimulus check is coming. But just understand, when people talk about a stimulus check versus that child tax credit, some people use the stimulus check word interchangeably. Honestly, is the child tax credit a form of stimulus? Yes, it is. Is it coming in a form of a check? Yes, it is. So is it technically a stimulus check? Yes, it is. But just understand, when some people say stimulus check coming on July 15th, that doesn't mean it's going to go to everybody. This is going to mainly impact parents. So just keep that in mind. Now, Senator Joe Manchin has stated that he's in no rush to strike an infrastructure deal with Republicans, as major legislation does take time. This is something that we are now starting to see. This is looking eerily similar to what happened during the Affordable Care Act of 2009, or I believe that's when it was, with former President Barack Obama, when current President Joe Biden was the vice president. So what we know is that President Biden is open to extending his Memorial Day deadline on infrastructure talks if this means that we are getting closer. What we know is as of today, sometime today, I don't know when, sometime today, the GOP negotiators will propose their roughly $1 trillion infrastructure package to President Biden and the Biden administration. What we do know is that they want to take about $700 billion of currently, purpose funds, right? They want to repurpose those funds from the COVID relief that they went to, pull that money back and use that for infrastructure. That's what the GOP negotiators are wanting to do. And that actually has many Democrats upset because they fought for that relief for those particular reasons. And they say we should not have to repurpose that money just because those needs haven't been, not just met, but some of the states, some of the different relief programs haven't actually been fully implemented yet. So why should we pull money from those programs and put it elsewhere when essentially it could just sit there as well? So that's kind of what's in discussions at this time. But many Democrats do oppose President Biden saying that he would extend the deadline. We knew that the Memorial Day weekend was the deadline. And that was one of the reasons why Democrats want the GOP negotiators to propose their package sometime this week, and all indications say it will be today. So as long as that's the case, right? And I believe President Biden, I think he's in Cleveland today, so I'm not too sure exactly what's going to go on there. But one thing I can tell you is that right now, all eyes are on infrastructure. And the reason for this is because infrastructure at this time, this is the main bill that Congress is working on. Well, technically Congress, the House of Representatives is away on recess. The Senate's going to leave after today. So, whether they're really going to work on it over the weekend or over Memorial Week, who knows? But what I can tell you is that right now the expectation is they are supposed to work together. They're trying to get a bipartisan deal done. However, many lawmakers state that they don't feel that this is the best time to do a bipartisan negotiation because they are so far apart. So, Senator Joe Manchin, he says he doesn't see them striking a deal anytime soon, and he's really in no rush because he understands this type of legislation of such magnitude, where it could put the United States into a deeper deficit. This is something that should have bipartisan support. This is something that no single party should push through a budget reconciliation. And at the same time, progressives say, push it through, get it done, and let's do a budget reconciliation. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, there's a lot of lawmakers that are currently battling each other as to what is the best way to move forward. So again, as we have more information, I promise I will fill you in on those updates as well. Now, big news out this morning is that the new jobless claims came in today, signaling an improved economy. The estimates were for 425,000 jobless claims. However, we came in and beat that at 406,000 jobless claims. That means less people. Okay, for the past few weeks, less and less people have been claiming unemployment benefits, which is good. That means that more people are going back to work. That means the economy is starting to open up, which we know that. And so hopefully this will lead to a good, solid, stable recovery. And not just for the rich and the wealthy, but for every single American, the low, the middle, and upper class. We need every single American to feel that same kind of effect that yes, the economy is opening up, things are looking better, and there is no inflation. But as of right now, we are going to see inflation. What we know right now is the big improvement over this past week. We went from 444,000 jobless claims last week to this week 406. Okay, so what was that? 38,000 jobless claims less. That is actually really good. Now, most experts do not predict that or expect we will hit that rate every single week. But if we do, great. Okay, if we do, great. But we will see as the weeks progress. What we do know, though, this is a big one, that President Biden tomorrow, this is according to the New York Times, they are saying that tomorrow President Biden is going to propose or unveil his $6 trillion government spending bill for fiscal year 2022. The goal of this figure of the $6 trillion is to boost middle class and infrastructure. Those are the two that he really wants to boost. Obviously, infrastructure, we know that. That's what the lawmakers have been fighting over for the past couple of months. But what we know is that right now, those are the two groups, okay? Middle class, infrastructure. President Biden has stated, and even White House Chief of Staff Ronald Klain has stated, they want to build from the middle out. Now, we've seen trickle-down economics. We've seen how that works, and it works for some. It works for a lot of business owners. Great. As a business owner, love it. But also trickle-up economics, where you give money to the lower-income earners, like a stimulus check, and they spend it as they will, and then it trickles up into the economy. And as a business owner, that's great too, because people have more money. They come to the business, they spend money, and you make money. And then you give it to your employees, you give it to your vendors and your landlord, and right, you give it to all these people, and then it just works its way through the economy. Well, the Biden administration says this $6 trillion is going to help, but it's going to start from the middle. It's going to go from the middle out and expand. So that could be good, but we'll have to see. This proposal, according to the reports, say that we will see a deficit of more than $1.3 trillion over every year over the next 10 years. Okay? So, no, I don't know if how accurate this is. Again, this is still just coming out. This is just coming out this morning. But it is believed that by spending more on the people, according to the Biden administration, as long as we spend more on the people and on infrastructure, that will increase our tax revenue, which will help keep the United States competitive. That is the goal, is to stay competitive. We do not want to go backwards. We've seen China, they've made a lot of progress lately. But we have to continue to move forward, and according to the reports, the Biden administration believes a $6 trillion government spending bill is what is needed. So we will see what happens there. Some say this is going to be too much. Others say, no, we should go even bigger. But right now, what I can tell you is $6 trillion is a very substantial amount of money that will help, hopefully, build the economy, help the United States, and we will recover much quicker. But as of right now, some are questioning whether this is too big and too bold. We also know, speaking of bold, that former President Donald Trump is considering to rerun for president again in 2024. Many in the GOP are worried that Donald Trump will run for president again, which would actually cause a huge divide in the party. Right now, the party is still battling through the possible January 6th commission. Some are saying that right now, having former President Donald Trump back in the mix is only going to make things even worse. A handful of conservatives believe that having Donald Trump in office during this pandemic was actually the biggest problem. They say that he was the problem because he did not want to believe what everybody was telling him. And some worry that no matter who would run against him in the 2024 election, okay, or in the upcoming election, no matter who runs, that the American people will choose former President Donald Trump over any other candidate. Now, let me know down in the comment section below. If former President Donald Trump runs for president again, I guess it's technically reruns, even though he's been out of office, but if he runs for president again, would you vote for him? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your answer. Also, the expanded child tax credits. This is estimated to help roughly 65.6 million American children. This is supposed to start in July. The good news is this means that this is going to provide relief for roughly 90% of children here in the United States. This means that roughly 4.1 million children will be pulled out of poverty. And the good thing is that Congress is expecting to extend this until 2025. So what you need to understand is you would get a $250 per month payment between July and December. You would get it every single month for the next 6 months. That would be if you have a child between 6 and 17. If you have a child between 0 and 5, you would receive a $300 per month check as a payment, an upfront payment in advance of the child tax credit. Now, just to give you an idea, if Congress goes and extends this to 2025, which is expected, because this does have bipartisan support, what you need to understand is, let's say you have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old. So you would get $600 per month for July, August, September, October, November, and December. Well, as long as Congress extends that, then you would also get a $600 payment for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December for the next year. But here's the big thing. You only would have received half, 50%, okay, of, again, you would get $3,000 per year for the children between 6 and 17, right? So, or actually, my math was all wrong. If someone is 6 and 10, you get $500, not $600. Okay, excuse me. So you would get the $500 for every single month. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. This is the big one. And this is what a lot of lawmakers are saying. That would be a big boost, because not only would you get the $500 in January, February, March, April, May, you would also get the other half of the child tax credit that you missed out for 2021. So let's say you get a $3,000 payment. Cool. You got 2 kids. That'd be $6,000. That the IRS would have only sent you $3,000, only 50% of that. 6 months of $500. That's $3,000. So you would end up getting the other $3,000 on your taxes. But in addition to that, you're still getting the $500 every single month as the advance of the child tax credit. So just keep that in mind, because as of right now, people with children are going to make out like bandits in this one. This is a big one. This is going to help out millions of people. This is also going to put money into parents' pockets. And let's be honest here. How many people, how many parents are going to spend? Let's say you have a child that is 7 years old. How much of a $250 per month payment are you going to spend on that child? For me, I have a 7-year-old. Okay, I have a 7-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, and I have an almost 2-year-old. Okay, so for me, would I spend $250 on my 7-year-old? For food, yes, most likely. Now, he does other things, extracurricular activities, sports and things like that. Obviously, those add up as well. But that shouldn't be on the government to pay for sports and extracurricular activities, right? It should just be to help get children out of poverty. So for some people, they're going to be looking at this like, okay, I got 3 children. I'm going to get $250 each for every single one. I'm going to get $750 every single month for the next few years. Oh, perfect. And I know this, and we've seen the reports, and some say they aren't going to spend their money on their children. They don't need to, but they do need to figure out a way to improve their vehicle. They need to figure out a way to improve their lifestyle, because that will help out the children. Now, yes, granted, it could. Having a better running vehicle, something that is more reliable, that isn't always sitting in the shop trying to get fixed, that's going to help people out. That's going to help out children as well. It doesn't necessarily pull them out of poverty, but it does help out. So that is kind of the discussions at this point, is how many people are going to spend their money on their children? How many would spend their money on a new car? Because if you get the payment every single month for the next, let's say, 4 years, right? From 2021, and then we add in the next 4 years, so until 2025. If you get that every single month, let's say you get $500, that's more than enough to make a car payment. The next 5 years, you could potentially have that car almost paid off, simply because you're getting payments from the government. But again, I'm not here to debate whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. I know this is going to help out a lot of people. This will provide children a way to get out of poverty, but we also know there's going to be a certain group of people that just go and exploit this. And again, it's their money. They can do what they want with it. This is a child tax credit advance. So instead of waiting at the end of the year and getting the payment then, you just get it throughout the year. Which again, the money's all the same. The money is all the same. It comes out to be the exact same amount of money whether you get at the end of the year or every single month. So again, that's just what we know. But as of right now, again, as we learn more, I promise I will share more. There's a lot going on right now. Congress, as of tomorrow, will be on recess. Everybody will be on recess for Memorial Day week or day or weekend, whatever you want to call it. And they will come back sometime in June. So I will bring you more updates as we get them, but just understand there's a lot of stuff going on right now. We hopefully today we will have the GOP negotiator proposal for the infrastructure package, and I'll bring you updates on that later on today as well. And then tomorrow is the big thing. According to the New York Times, we will see a roughly $6 trillion government spending bill for fiscal year 2022. That should be unveiled as well. So that'll be interesting to see what the Biden administration says on that. So as we get more information, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and details. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.